When I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never know.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They left.
A few months ago, a video got viral with Tupac chilling in a parking lot.
Look, zoom in. That's Pac, man. He was the outlaw. And Reg from Holla Back. He's trying to be friendly and get autographed. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
For decades, the world has been told that Tupac Shakur's life ended in a storm of bullets on the Las Vegas Strip in 1996. But if that's true, then why does the story surrounding his so-called final night sound more like a script from a thriller than a straightforward tragedy? The case has been stamped as closed, yet every detail feels suspicious. Police evidence vanishing without explanation, witness statements that contradict each other, official reports that don't match Tupac's actual weight or condition, and family members who hint he may have walked away from it all. Even stranger, countless photos, videos, and celebrity whispers continue to pop up decades later, claiming Tupac has been spotted living quietly in places as far away as Cuba and Malaysia.
It's been confirmed Tupac is alive and he's been living in Cuba all this time. This is a photo I snapped of him with my Nokia phone. That's the only phone the Cuban governors would let me bring into the country. He's been living in Cuba. This is a small farm that he lives on that he does more for just a hobby, and he says connect to the earth. This is the local bar that he sits at and grabs a beer every day. I talked to the bartender and they said, we love him. We didn't know that it was Tupac. And this is his fishing boat. He says he goes fishing almost every day. And then he eats the fish. He said, you can't beat this life.
And it isn't just fans fueling the fire. Suge Knight, who sat right beside Tupac in that BMW, has gone on record saying his friend might still be alive.
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
A reporter also asked Tretch about Tupac, and he said that Tupac is in Cuba.
So if you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
One last question. Nobody know. Good? We good. Thanks a lot, man. We good.
So, was this the biggest cover-up in hip-hop history? Or did Tupac mastermind the ultimate escape to free himself from a deadly war between East and West? Tonight, we unravel the mystery that refuses to die. On the night of September 7th, 1996, Las Vegas was buzzing with energy as fans poured into the MGM Grand to watch Mike Tyson's highly anticipated fight. Among the crowd was Tupac Shakur, accompanied by Death Row Records CEO Suge Knight, ready to enjoy the spectacle. But what was supposed to be an ordinary night of celebration quickly spiraled into chaos. After the fight ended, Tupac and his entourage spotted Orlando Baby Lane Anderson in the lobby, a man rumored to be connected to the Southside Crips. Without hesitation, Tupac confronted him, sparking a violent scuffle that hotel security rushed to break up. That moment, caught on surveillance cameras, would later be described as the spark that lit the fuse of everything that followed. Yet many argue the fight was far from random. Some believe it was staged, part of a much bigger plan, and what unfolded next only deepened the mystery. Later that night, Tupac and Suge Knight drove down the Vegas Strip, blasting music in their black BMW, when a white Cadillac suddenly pulled up beside them. Shots rang out, striking Tupac multiple times and grazing Suge as he struggled to keep control of the car. Rushed to the hospital, Tupac's condition was reported as critical, yet Suge would later recall moments of laughter and conversation with him, despite claims that Tupac had been placed in a coma. That contradiction has puzzled fans for years. How could he be joking if he was supposedly unconscious? From here, the story only gets stranger. When the official reports of Tupac's passing were released, instead of providing clarity, they only raised more questions. One of the most glaring details was his listed weight. 215 pounds. Anyone who knew Tupac could tell you he was nowhere near that. At just 5 feet 9 inches, he maintained a lean frame that hovered around 160 pounds. That 55-pound discrepancy left fans wondering if the paperwork was even real. Then came the issue of his cremation. The man allegedly responsible was said to have received $3 million in cash before vanishing without a trace, never to be seen again. No witnesses, no receipts, no closure. Adding to the mystery, the official cause of death was a respiratory failure and cardiac arrest, but multiple doctors gave conflicting accounts about his condition leading up to that point. Suge Knight himself publicly questioned how Tupac could be laughing with him one moment and declared gone just days later. These inconsistencies made it almost impossible for fans to accept the story as final. Instead of closure, the reports created a storm of speculation, leaving many convinced that the paperwork was just a smokescreen. And soon, even Tupac's closest allies would start fueling those suspicions. The doubts only grew louder when Suge Knight, the man sitting right next to Tupac that night, began dropping bombshell statements of his own. In multiple interviews, Suge flat out said he didn't believe Tupac was gone, insisting that nobody ever saw a body and that the whole situation seemed staged.
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody could turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna say this, Pac, you never.
Years later, his son, Suge Knight Jr., took things even further, flooding Instagram with shocking posts. He shared images claiming to show Tupac alive with modern-day celebrities like 50 Cent and Beyonce, alongside cryptic captions such as, "He never left us." He even leaked text conversations suggesting he was being threatened for revealing too much. While some dismissed this as a clout chase, others pointed out that if anyone would know the truth, it would be Suge's own family. Their claims poured gasoline on a fire that was already raging, and soon, all eyes turned toward one theory in particular: Cuba. Of all the theories surrounding Tupac, none has captured the public's imagination more than the idea that he escaped to Cuba.
I asked him, you were so talented at the rap music, Edge. Why would you just leave the scene? And he said, you know what? You might not understand it. And I said, please just tell me the reason, Tupac. I think, we respect your privacy, but I do think you owe it to the public to let us know, because you can't just hide that talent.
This rumor didn't come out of nowhere. Tupac's aunt, Assata Shakur, had already fled the United States in 1984 and was granted asylum in Cuba, where she's lived ever since. Many fans believe Tupac followed in her footsteps, using family connections to vanish into a country beyond U.S. reach. In 2018, a blurry photo went viral showing a man in Cuba who looked strikingly like Tupac, standing beside none other than Rihanna. Some brushed it off as doctored, but others insisted it was the smoking gun. The theory grew so popular that even major artists referenced it. Kendrick Lamar rapped about Tupac faking his death to go to Cuba, while Eminem freestyled that hip-hop ain't been the same since Tupac moved to Cuba on us. Whether it was an urban legend or hidden truth, the Cuba theory became a cultural phenomenon, convincing millions that Pac had found refuge on the island. But if you think Cuba is wild, another claim goes even further, suggesting Tupac staged the entire event with military-level precision and even used a body double. One of the boldest theories came from filmmaker Rick Boss, who claimed Tupac had staged the entire Vegas incident using a body double. According to Boss, Tupac was well aware that his enemies were closing in, so he orchestrated an elaborate escape plan. The theory suggests that after the shooting, a helicopter swooped in to fly him out of Vegas, while a stand-in was left behind to convince the world he hadn't survived. What made this claim even more compelling was Tupac's fascination with Machiavelli, the Italian strategist who wrote about faking one's death to outwit enemies. Around this time, Tupac had even adopted the alias Machiavelli, and his final album was filled with eerie references to rebirth and leaving clues behind. To fans, these weren't coincidences. They were intentional signals. But the most shocking evidence wasn't hidden in escape plots or flight paths. It was inside Tupac's own music. When Tupac reinvented himself as Machiavelli, fans quickly connected the name to Niccolò Machiavelli, the philosopher who famously wrote about faking one's death as a strategy for survival. His final album, The Don Killuminati, The 7-Day Theory, released just weeks after his reported passing, only fueled speculation. Lyrics hinted at betrayal, rebirth, and enemies plotting against him, almost like he was leaving behind coded messages for those paying attention. Some even pointed to the album's artwork, showing Tupac on a cross as symbolic of resurrection. To believers, this wasn't art, it was a carefully planted roadmap to the truth. Even decades after that fateful night in Vegas, sightings of Tupac continue to surface, keeping the legend alive. From grainy cell phone videos of a man who looks just like him walking through South Africa, to alleged paparazzi shots of him relaxing in Cuba, the internet has been flooded with claims that Tupac is still out there. In 2012, a mysterious video emerged online showing someone resembling Tupac in a parking lot, casually greeting the camera as if he never left. Suge Knight himself once added fuel to the fire by stating on live radio, "Nobody's seen Tupac's body." Meanwhile, fans point to the fact that the supposed cremator vanished with millions in cash as yet another suspicious twist. Pop culture has only magnified the obsession. Rappers reference Tupac being alive in verses, documentaries speculate on his whereabouts, and every blurry image of a bandana-wearing man reignites the debate. Whether real or hoax, these constant sightings ensure the mystery never dies. And with every new rumor, fans grow more certain that Tupac didn't just leave music behind, he left a puzzle. But with so many pieces scattered, one final question remains. Was it all a myth, or the greatest escape in music history? At the end of the day, the mystery of Tupac Shakur's fate continues to haunt music, culture, and history itself. Officially, the world was told he died on September 13, 1996, but the endless contradictions, bizarre reports, missing evidence, and uncanny sightings have left fans with more questions than answers. Was the Vegas shooting truly the tragic end of a legend, or the beginning of a carefully crafted escape plan designed to free Tupac from the dangerous East versus West Coast feud that had already claimed too many lives? Suge Knight's testimony, his son's shocking claims, the Cuba connection, the Machiavelli symbolism, and decades of supposed sightings all feed into a story that refuses to fade. And maybe that's the point. Perhaps Tupac wanted to leave behind more than music. Perhaps he wanted to leave a legend so powerful it could never be silenced. Because whether he's alive in hiding or forever immortalized in spirit, Tupac Shakur has achieved what few ever could: eternal relevance. Fans still debate, artists still reference him, and new generations still uncover his story. And that's the real truth. Tupac never truly left. His body may be gone, but his presence remains unshakable.